So today we are with Dr. Robb Kelly, and we're going to be talking about neuroscience and PTSD and the brain and what is it? Inner world problems, fears,
Yeah,
yeah, and how
all
to.
kind of psych problems, guys.
Okay, so that's such an interesting topic, and I don't know if I'll be interesting to you, but I uh, claim to have had PTSD. I don't exhibit any of the symptoms anymore. I used to be fatigued all the time. I used to be anxious 12 out of 10 every day of my life for about 20 years or probably more. Um, and I had also complex PTSD from my childhood. So I've dealt with it through various methods, and like already, man, you're fascinating. So can you tell me more about what you do and how you do it?
Of course. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Alexis, for having me on. Hey, guys, great to see you. So I am a PhD psychologist, a PhD behavioral scientist, and a neuroscience expert. And basically what we do is we believe that any ailment that you get pertaining to psych, so the ADHD, all that stuff, is curable. Now, alcoholism isn't. We'll get into that later. So we've studied the brain over like 20 years. We've studied how neural pathways react. We've studied certain parts of the brain, like the hypothalamus and basal ganglia, that react differently. You know, PTSD is PTSD. Whether you're a mom at home or a soldier coming back from war, we've tested and trialed that and researched that, and it's kind of the same thing. So, Simon, when you said, I don't know whether I have it, you have it, man. If you're in that state of mind, then PTSD is rampant, but we don't think. So most of our illnesses pertaining to psychic starts from the subconscious brain, which where all the bad stuff that's happened sits in the subconscious brain. Every memory, every photograph, and everything from birth is in there. So what we do is we reframe attitudes and we rewire brain. So we're all in patterns. 24 hours a day, we're in a pattern, but we don't know we're in a pattern. So when we get in depression, what happens is what's called the basal ganglia in the brain. It's kind of our repetition strengthens and confirms an act or a problem or a solution. The more we do it, the easier it gets. A bit like driving a car. So what we do most times with PTSD is they're at a default there to self-sabotage. And that's what we do. We fix behavior, we fix the brain, we fix the speech, we fix the internal dialogue. The brain's very interesting. You know, we spend a long time going into it. So our same program cures addiction as it does depression, as it does PTSD, as it does anxiety. It's basically changing this, which changes this.
Right. So so you said something interesting. You said that I still have it. So I get what you mean. Probably the neural pathways, they're still there, and that's for good. But what we can do is we can rewire and we can change our behaviors to more desirable behaviors and patterns that are not self-destructive and horrific. That's awesome, and that's so important. And um, you know, what's coming to my mind right now is a clip that I saw of psychiatrists and psychologists who are being asked, like, how many of your clients have you cured? Now, it's a social media reel, but pretty much all of them said none, and one of them said maybe one. And just for background, yeah, no, I'll leave the rest to you, but it sounds like you're really helping people. And would you call it cure?
I would. We've been curing addiction of trauma, PTSD, you know, anxiety. We've been curing it for the last 6, 7 years. So we have a 98%. It's really 100. We're not going to say anything. You have to pass an assessment, so we don't take everybody. But yeah, we've completely cured it. But like you said before, Simon, it's about thought patterns, about neural pathways. It's about repeat behavior. So I've worked with over 10,000 patients. and all traceable, all our work is traceable. Should somebody need it, there's a process to go through. But yeah, of course we have. I mean, even the placebo effect, if you tell someone there's a cure for this and they go through it, there'll be a cure for them. The only thing that differs is alcoholism. But every other addiction comes from childhood trauma or comes from repetitive behavior as a child. It's like when we're in the kitchen as a toddler and mom says, don't put your hand on the stove, it'll burn you. Or we go and put our hand on the stove and it burns us. What the child learns from that is whatever mom says is true. So whatever happens in that house, it being dysfunctional or not, the child believes that everything mom tells is true. So when we leave the house or go out to school, we believe whatever they tell us is the truth. And depending on who we hang around with or what school and what friends we get, the mirroring part of the brain picks up on that. So we imitate each other, just like monkeys and chimpanzees, which my professor sent me to the zoo for a year in the snow and the rain. I hated that man for that. But what I learned with the skills that the monkeys and chimpanzees and nurturing and all that stuff, and the fact that over 90% of communication is non-verbal, we learn, you know, that whatever happens around us, we take a piece of that and repeat it. So 300 neural pathways die every day in the brain. What are we replacing them with? The biggest thing we have in America and England is nobody wants to get you well. If we can keep you on medication, if we can keep you in a treatment center, we're good. It's an extra client, an extra customer that we can keep. So nobody's really diving in like we do to it. And that's because of my own journey. It's like, if you can't get over this, what you're going through, it's a sad state of affairs. But what people do, and this is where it all goes wrong, guys, is I feel, you know, hey, wife, I feel depressed. Wife says, well, go and see the doctor. So off I go to see the doctor, I tell him I'm depressed, and halfway through telling him that he's writing a prescription for depression meds. He's not asking me what my home life is like or my job. Do I exercise and what do I eat? He's not asking that. He's writing a prescription. So I go home, I take the prescription, which is basically a false serotonin. So then we go to the American Medical Dictionary for the word depression, and it's basically lack of serotonin. So why isn't anybody asking a question before we take medication? Is why is my serotonin low first? So over 80% of people in America are on medication. You don't always need. Now, if you have heart problems, and yeah, great. But it's a psych, no. It's crazy.
So I do want to ask you about your journey, and we'll get there. And I will ask you about alcohol because it's interesting. But before we get to those points, I would like you to lay a foundation. So you've kind of grouped ADHD together with PTSD. Are there anything else that's kind of like grouped like this that people are sure that it's uncurable, but you claim it is, or you've solved it for some people?
What we found out when dealing with alcoholism, first of all, because that's what I suffered from about 30 years ago, I started to study it, and I found out that an alcoholic is somebody who drinks too much. That's what people told me. That's not the case. But as we went and started, you know, healing people and opening bigger clinics, what we found is the same program that we use also affects all the other psych problems, the ADHD, the PTSD, the depression, all kinds of form of the same character, reframing, repatterning the brain, working with the conscious and the subconscious brain, which are fighting for our attention most of the day unless we do our morning work, which is basically breath work, very exaggerated breath work in the morning. And what that happens is the subconscious brain wakes us up in the morning. And the reason why it wakes us up in the morning is because it loves hypoxic situations. Well, one of the reasons no human being ever has woke up laughing is lack of oxygen, where the body is at its lowest between 2 and 5 on a normal circadian sleep pattern, and the repairs happening. So when we wake up, the subconscious brain wakes us up. That guy doesn't want us to succeed. That guy wants us to stub our toes, think it's going to be a crap day, hate everybody, complain. But by doing the morning work, we snuff out the subconscious brain and ignite the conscious brain. So it's basically like this. And this guy now is running the show because it's full of oxygen, it's ready to go, we're changing your pathways, even in the bathroom with our teeth work and mirror work, and we're out for the day. 24 hours a day is not an AA thing, guys. It's when they found back in the day that a couple of parts of the brain resets every 24 hours. So if we can keep this going through the day, unfortunately though, have a guess who wakes up tomorrow? It's this guy again. So that's why the repetition strengthens confirms every morning as they happen. You see, people don't think it's possible to have a great day every day. Wrong. People don't think they're a 10 out of 10 every day. Wrong. People if they come from the projects like me, they can't be successful. Wrong. All these myths around psych is just wrong, you know, and we've proved it time and time and time again. I write for Harvard University's Psych Hospital. I deal with some of those fascinating scientists. I lecture to scientists, to doctors and stuff like this. So, you know, we have a basis to back this up, and it's just amazing.
Well, I think that most people in some ways, they have their programming that comes from wherever it comes from. Like, I'm not going to get into that. That's a big topic of mine, but let's leave that, put that away for now. People are going to resist every single thing, like the negative people, the people who depend on being a victim, the people who under no circumstances will ever want to take responsibility. They're not going to like anything that you said, because you're basically saying that this is on them and they can have the life of their dreams. That's what you're saying. And they're going to tell you no, because the government is shit, or because of the immigrants, or because of Trump, or because of Bernie Sanders, or whatever. Like, they're going to blame anybody. And I'm in a quite a unique position, like, because as you're talking and you're describing the two types of people, one, I think I understood, is run by the unconscious mind that is not fully awoken. Is that what you said? So basically, for 30 years or more, I was exhausted every day and felt pretty shitty because I didn't do breath work, which I started doing breath work, and it really, really makes my day amazing. Breath work and meditation first thing in the morning sets me up. And the days that I do it are amazing days, and the days that I don't do it are still amazing to these days. But in the past, it really was like day or night. Like this, or am I gonna go this path today, or am I gonna go that path today? And often I would choose the negative, the easy, or it's not easy, but I wouldn't take care of myself because I was exhausted, because I didn't feel it immediately. I had no willpower, I had no energy, and I didn't want to do it. So of course it's my choice, right? That's on me, not blaming anybody. But yeah, that's interesting that you're saying that I was just like awake and asleep in the same time, pretty much, and it did feel that way.
Yeah, I like that. See, so we look at the oxygen, we've got to look at the food as well, we've got to look at the water. Then three things. We eat too much in America, we don't drink enough water. So when you go to the store and you want hydration water, that's the latest thing over here. It's the biggest marketing con in the world. Absolutely world. It's just, it's so crazy. You know, if you want to hydrate from inside the cells out, you need your calcium salt, your water, and lemon juice in the morning to get you started. So the food is a big thing why we're tired all the time and depressed. Because in America, we don't eat real food. 90% is fake food. So you've got your GMOs, you've got your artificial, you've got your sunflower oil, you've got your canola oil, all bad seed oils that take our body down and down and down. So once you look at your food and get your breath working every day, 5, 10, 15 times a day, it's brilliant. We're not meant to run on subconscious and lack of oxygen, because we only breathe 40% of our lung capacity. One of the reasons people feel good going to the gym or cycling is not the exercise, it's this in between. Getting oxygen in our body, and people don't take that serious. It's like, so what you're telling me, Dr. Robb, is I get up in the morning, I do my breath work, mirror work, and teeth work. I kind of care for what I eat, and I inspire people every day. I'm going to feel good. Hell yes. Hell yes. Well, I've done it and it doesn't work. Liar. You're lying to me, because it's physically impossible. Once you're having 40% and now 100% oxygen, it's physically impossible that you don't feel better. But like you said, you're going to get those guys that like moan about everything. childhood trauma. Don't want to succeed in anything, childhood trauma. And they want to keep everyone around them miserable and in their space. And what they find in people is people that have got the shit together and doing the program is they pull away from them guys. We tell them, don't, if you hang around 9 depressed people, you will become the 10th. That's it. So we are who we hang around. We show me your friends, I'll show you your future of what your life looks like. So it's really important that when you're doing this, or you're trying to get well, or you're trying to increase life to whatever you want it to be, because you can be anybody, do anything that you want to be. I'm prime example, and thousands of people I've worked with. You've got to stay away from them negative people, because the subconscious brain, guys, is constantly searching every day for something to go wrong. You know, you could, I spoke at a place once many years ago, there was 1,000 people there. And they told me after speaking, you got at least an hour after to shake hands with everybody. People will come up and thank you for coming. And they did. 999 people said it was amazing. And one person says I wasn't. Have a guess who I concentrated on for the next 3 weeks and nearly relapsed? That one guy. So if that affects you, then people around you all the time telling you can't do stuff and then I'm depressed, and you're not going to do anything, man.
Okay, so I'll tell you where my mind is going, because like everything that you're saying, more or less, like I do want to finish this with like some kind of solid routine. I'm sure you can give us amazing tips. But my mind is going now to like the manic depressed people, the people that are, I don't know, hormone imbalances. Does it help them as well?
So, great question, man. Great question. There is a manic stroke childhood trauma, stroke trauma in itself, depression that we can get ourselves in, where the chemicals in the brain are not balanced whatsoever. Medication will help to balance out them chemicals, but it doesn't mean that you've got to stay on the medication. Suboxone is a great taper for heroin, but we see people taking Suboxone for 4 to 5, 6 years. So yeah, there are parts where medication helps 100%, but we get stuck on it. Once you take something inside your body, pharmaceutical drugs, especially to psych, it changes your brain. It changes everything about your brain, and you'll never go back to that place ever again. ADHD medicine, Vyvanse and Adderall, a prime example of it. Your brain will never be the same. Now, we can rewire over that by all means, but we just have to be careful and you know, of what medication we take. So 100%, we've met with patients that have just gone through horrific things. Now, can they recover? 100%, man. But they may need medication in the early days to get them to my office or get them out of bed. We're all for that, but yeah. And I would say that's 1 in every 1,000 patients we've seen. So this is, when I speak about this, it's a generalization of our experience in the past 30 years, 20 in America, of what we come across. There are going to be exceptions though.
Okay. So you keep saying interesting things. So I grew up on Ritalin. I'm not sure if I've taken Adderall. I took Concerta. I'm not sure if that's Adderall or some I don't know. But I've tried a few drugs, and I would take Ritalin. And so you're basically saying that I damaged my own brain somehow. And
100%.
and so that would be amazing for me to finally know. So what did I do to myself?
If you take cocaine, regular effects. If you take Vyvanse, which is just amphetamine salts, which is speed, like cocaine, you damage yourself. Certain neurological things that happen in the brain. First of all, obviously, the dopamine levels are all messed up. So you need that even to be half happy. You need that stuff inside you. And secondly, patterns of behavior. You see, when we talk about ADHD and stuff like you just said, ADHD is not deficit. Everyone wants to call it medical. Oh, it's an attention overload because there's so many things going on. When we add medication to that, it's like we're walking around in this false. It's like a movie, but sped up, like 4 times as much. It's like you can't remember everything. You're going through life, and it's all happening. You're completing things, and all of a sudden, when the body stops, you exhaust everything that's happened. So your clear neural pathways are damaged. The dopamine, the serotonin are damaged all the time through this. And of course, when you're on that stuff, there are 4 chemicals every day, neurotransmitters that need to happen every day for you to be happy. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. Most people know that. But do you know that serotonin and dopamine are created in the stomach, in the gut? So when we're taking this stuff, we're not hungry, so we don't eat. What we do eat is crap fast food when we get the chance. Any fast food, we cannot methylate. Or 90% we can't methylate. So what happens is you eat on the go all the time, burgers and McDonald's. And, you know, when we put something in our mouth, what happens is it's not used in the source it goes in. It's methylated into the source that we can use. Unfortunately, with the fast foods and other foods in the supermarket, it's not meant for human consumption. So what happens is when you eat it, it can't methylate it. When it can't methylate a food or protein, there becomes a deficiency in the body. The deficiency causes the illness. So it's kind of do this, but we can't forget this. And if you've been on that for a long, long time, whatever medication that is, you can rewire like we do, and I'm sure lots of people out there do. But if you don't, you're left with the damaged brain. That you will never be successful. You will never hold relationships. You're jumping from job to job because you can't, your mind is always racing. We're on that fight or flight level all of the time. So, and you get like side effects, like if you take a day off work, you feel guilty that you're not working. You feel guilty at home resting. That's all these side effects from the stuff you've taken. If you want to succeed in life, you've got to look at the past and what's been done. Like, anybody can earn $1 million, okay? That's not that hard. Honestly, it's not that hard when you get this clear. The hardest part about that is because we're human beings and we're complacent, is staying sane while you earn all that money. Because we get lazy, we don't do the breath work every day. And if you have a God, Uncle Jimmy, universe, whatever, we're not contacting that. Because when we take these neural pathways and change them and change the patterning, in your mind sits inside the brain, so mind over matter, the brain. If we don't contact another energy, because that's all it is, energy, another energy, when both of them happen, your DNA changes. It basically means you're not the same person as you was when you're taking alcohol. It's not the same person as you was when you were taking Vyvanse or any other medication pertaining to psych. You're a different kind of person. And the connection that you have and the thought patterns that you have, it's like you can't hurt me with what you say without me giving you permission to do that. And we're still back in the past. I'm always giving you permission to. And what we find as well with a lot of these patients is they can't hold relationship because they always think the worst is going to go wrong. So I know this is going to end. So I'm going to end it before you do because I know you're going to do it. So and we just self-sabotage, and it goes on and on and on. Once you trace that behavior back to what we call childhood trauma, it's childhood trauma with the therapist is car accident, divorce. It goes way deeper than that. And what we find is people with the ADHD and similar illnesses are more sensitive than other people. So a word or a phrase can devastate them. I was stood on the kitchen table with my brother. We must have been about 7, 8, 9. And we stood on the kitchen table. My mother walks in and she says to both of us, and my brother doesn't suffer from addiction or anything, says to both of us, "Get off that table before your father gets in. Get off the table, quick." My brother jumps down and I freeze. Why do I freeze? Because I've heard in that state. And that's where it comes from. You have to understand what's going on here, understand what we put in our body, understand the oxygen situation, and understand the behavioral patterns of good. You know, if you want to earn, if you're on 40 grand a year, you want to earn 80 grand a year, you have to hang around the guys that earn 80 grand a year. Otherwise, you're not going to change. Make sense?
There's so much, like it makes sense. Like I understand everything that you said. I resonate so much, and I also do this for a living. I help guys with their inner trauma and rewiring, the same things that I did for myself. So I absolutely do get you, and you know, you're talking about diet, which is fundamental, because if you eat shitty food that comes from a company that does not care about your well-being and it cares about profits, then you're going to end up with deficiencies. These deficiencies make you later exhausted, it makes you not have energy, not have motivation, lack, and then you start to neglect yourself even more. And then when you're in that like a hole, you're not getting out alone, probably, most likely. And that's without even getting to the part of sorting out the internal emotions and what happened to you in the past and seeing how this has affected you so much and literally built a false personality on top of who you actually really are. So I get you. Yeah, it makes sense. But I want to come back and ask you a few more detailed questions about the Ritalin and the brain damage, because that's blowing my mind. Because it's just like you're saying that I damaged my neurons. Is that measurable?
Yes, it is measurable. Your brain becomes overactive. Okay. So most parts of the brain will not work on that. They're exhausted, they're tired, and your pathways that are created for health and wealth are destroyed completely, and you're stuck in this false world. That's what happens. So the connection pertaining to the four chemicals, and it's just, this is layman terms, and it's very, very kind of broadly explained here, are not firing properly. None of them are, because you're in overload all of the time. You can't concentrate. They say if you take Ritalin, you can concentrate. It's no. I'm sorry, but no, that's not the case. It's not a deficit, it's an overload. And we've only found out about a year ago, myself and Gary Brecker, that was working on that. It's like, once you take that stuff, man, you're never going to be the true self that you are unless you do intensive work around that. And most of it is childhood trauma. So when we look at ADHD, you can tie that back to childhood trauma and food. You can literally tie that back straight back to the source. See, alcohol has 1% to do with alcoholism. The same with every other stuff that we take. It's 1%. It's not the real deal. What's really going on? What's the root cause of this? And how much damage is it done? And we only find out as we go older and older and older through life. And we find out certain traits that you do as a person next door to you doesn't do, because he's not been on this stuff as a youngster. And it's like getting that mind back into a normal thinking mind, drug-free from that stuff, it can be very difficult. You have to know what you're doing and how to do it. So we have lots of software and tools that we use to get you back on track, but you will always be expecting the worst. You will always be uncomfortable in your own skin. This is all subconscious and conscious in your pathways that are self-sabotaging, and we'll look for any excuse for you not to do something, because the mind is not meant to go that fast. It damages nerves, it damages nerve endings. That's why people put you on gabapentin, when you come off alcohol or something. It's like, it's the nerve endings that are shattered and nothing connects properly.
Something is coming to my mind. Simon keeps telling me that he's thinking about so many things all the time. All the time, like your brain don't stop thinking about so many things.
We can give some context, but yeah, I keep like the discussion between me and Alex lately has been deep level stuff. Alex is basically trying to project less, control his emotions less, understand himself, like and what's really going on. And like I've been trying to explain and break down how is it that for some reason that we don't fully know, I'm pretty good at not projecting and getting being kind of impartial, even against myself, even again, like I see. And what we understood is that at any given moment, I'm seeing quite a few perspectives in the same time. Like I can imagine I'm not going to say that I know you, but I think that I can imagine and understand a lot about your life, Dr. Robb, just from the little tidbits that you've given me. And I'm like, in the same time, because I'm a people pleaser, so I have a tendency to look at everybody in the room and understand them. And I have like these different perspectives. They're not fighting, they're just there. And I don't come to a conclusion until I fill in the gaps. And I'm also a big picture thinker. I draw from vast amounts of information. So that's my mind. Is that somehow wrong? I think Alex is alluding to this and asking.
No, that's not what I meant, because
Okay.
Dr. Robb now just said that like when you think too much too fast, you're
Yeah.
damaging your neurons, right? I think that's
Yeah.
what he said, right? So I was thinking about you that he's always thinking, I'm also always thinking, but I think you're doing a lot more than me, actually. So I was thinking, are you damaging your neurons when you do that?
I think, and Dr. Robb, you can clarify. I think you meant when you are probably triggered, emotionally triggered, and you are your nervous system is triggered, and you feel danger. But like my mind is quick. Like I'm calculating many things in the same time. That's just how my mind works. And Alex, you also do exactly the same thing when you need your mind to do something. So, what do you think about this?
I'm the same. I'm exactly the same. You know, I'm lucky enough. I have people around me. So when an idea comes into my head, and I think you'll get this more than Alex, is I have to get rid of it to somebody else. So 6 or 7 things happen at the same time around me. It doesn't mean I can't concentrate on the thing I'm doing, by all means. But I get ideas in the shower, and what I do is I have to pass that on to my assistant, or pass that on to the wife, or pass it on to somebody, because I'm on to the next thing. That's a business mindset that can succeed 1,000,000%. I mean, if you're not earning, and I hate to say this, guys, you know, guys listening, look at him. I come from the projects, man. I was homeless for a long time, but it's $1,000,000 mines. We have $1,000,000 mines, guys, but we hang around 10-cent mines all the time. So when you get something, it has to be passed before somebody else gives you an idea or defunks that idea, and it's gone. I was in Dallas for 14 years. And the people around me, I go, you know, I'm thinking of writing a book. And they go, stupid, you're not an author, you can't write a book. Nobody's interested in your life, Rob. Didn't write a book, man. Came down to San Antonio 4 years ago, said to my new friends, thinking of writing a book. They're like, oh my God, you've not wrote a book? Are you crazy? You need to write a book. You know, it's like all these ideas are going, and you have to act on every one. And the golden, I hope you're going to love this, guys. Our research over about 12 years on this is, when an idea comes in to the brain or whatever, and 7.3 seconds is your activation point. After 7.3 seconds, the idea is gone, and another idea is coming. So let's say I'm on the couch tonight, and I'm, you know, being lazy, and I see Arnold Schwarzenegger on the TV, and I turn to my wife and I go, hey, I'm thinking of going to the gym tomorrow. I ain't going to the gym tomorrow. I know it. She knows it. The dogs know it. But within that 7.3 second time frame, if I get up to the bedroom, put my sneakers and my shorts in and put that near the door, there's a good chance of me doing that. So what we call then is genius brains. But we have to act on it, because so many things come in that are true. It just means you're open to the universe of all these messages coming in and opportunities that a lot of people don't have. But we have to act on that within that time frame to make it a reality.
100%. Like my rule now is, because I still, if I don't clean, then my room's gonna be a shithole. So my rule now is, don't put it down, put it away. And
Oh man,
every single
I
time,
love that.
yeah, every
Let me
single
make a
time
note of that,
I eat,
Simon.
yeah, no,
You see that on Facebook later. It was my idea, not yours.
no problem. You take the rights. You don't even have to give me a commission. Enjoy, man, and bless you, you know, and spread it, you know, to as many people as possible. Don't put it down, put it away. I wash my dishes immediately, instantly, because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it later. It's gonna pile up, and then I'm gonna feel even worse. So that's what I do now, and it changed my life. There's so much to talk about. You're such an interesting guy, but what I'm thinking now is towards something practical. This routine, like you mentioned, breath work. There's so many great channels on YouTube that I use. There's a quick workout that I like, that I was taught. Meditation doesn't even matter what type of breath work and what type of meditation. If you like, could you give us like the Robb Kelly routine?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we have to remember that the presence of oxygen equals a lack of disease. So every illness in the body starts in a hypoxic area, whether it's cancer or whatever it is in the body, lung, all the same, hypoxic area. So we're living at 45% all the time. So there's three things that I get my patients to do, and it's a game changer, and I'll explain what they are as we go along. Breath work. We spoke about the subconscious brain waking us up in the morning. Before you do anything, guys, and you have to do this regularly, you can't do it like Monday, Tuesday, miss Wednesday. One step forward, 5 steps back if you miss a day, because it's repetition, strengthens, and confirms that action to be daily part. Get up in the morning, sit down because you will go dizzy, and I need you to take 20 exaggerated breaths in and out, like forced it like this. 20 of those, and you're going to look stupid doing it, so you might not want to see your girlfriend doing it. Do 20 of those, you'll go dizzy. We're saturating the body and the brain with oxygen. That's fantastic. Do this throughout the day as well. Then go into the bathroom.
Just to clarify about this, maybe what's his name? Wim Hof, that's not strong enough.
Wim Hof is the different levels, like box breathing and certain different feelings and meditation. This is pure oxygen in the body.
Okay.
That's what we're pure oxygen as fast as you can into the body, and do it 2-3 times a day. It alerts everything. It alerts
20 breaths. Cool. Not too hard. Yeah.
I mean, it takes you about 10 seconds. Do it, guys. Don't just like, no, this is going to be absolutely mind-blowing if you do this. Simple tricks. Walk into the bathroom. If you brush your teeth with your right hand, do a week on the left, week on the right, week on the left, and week on the right. 30 days is the magic month. Basically, what we're doing is we're getting out of patterns. Okay, that we always do some like if you go away on a bus with a few people and you go down to the coast, all the men drinking, it's a great night, everyone's amazing, get back on the bus, which seat you sit in, usually the one that you went there in. So these patterns we don't see, we just do them. So when we change that work, we're changing the patterns in our brain, we're changing the neural pathways pertaining to that pathway, either self-destruction or just being a normal person. So we've changed it. The last and probably not least is mirror work. So we stand 6 feet away from the mirror. Remember, 300 neural pathways die every day. And repeat, I love you 10 times, looking at yourself in the mirror. I love you, I love you. Don't break eye contact, but make sure you're standing 6 feet away. So the optical illusion that we have is when we start near the mirror. So if we're shaving or ladies putting makeup on, we see all our blemishes. When's the last time you went to work? Hey, Jimmy, great. We don't do that. So when you step away 6 feet, the blemishes disappear. That's how people see you. So even subconsciously, if you have a little spot here that oh my God, everybody can see that. Well, from 6 foot away, you can hardly see it. But we think you can because of the optical illusion. Do them 3 things every morning, compliment 3 people throughout the day, your life will change from tomorrow.
Okay. And that's amazing advice. And it really makes sense also. You still do this every single day?
Every single day for 30 years. Every single day. And it helps your health, it helps your skin, it helps everything. I mean, I don't know how old guys watching, how old you think I am, but look, I'm 64 years old. I've been doing this every single day, even through, there's been relapses along the way, but, because I didn't know the information I know now. But yeah, it will nurture the body. It will, look after, it will heal better. All these great stuff over that simple exercise every morning. But people think because it's so simple, it's a waste of time. It can't really help. It's a myth. It's not a myth, guys.
You're a beast, absolutely a beast. So yeah, you're a PhD doctor and you have big biceps. So I would listen to you any day, 100%. That's so simple. You also mentioned lemon water or something like that to start your day. Is there any other like quick hacks that you have?
Well, Celtic salt has to be Celtic salt with all the minerals still in it. The salt normally is refined, takes all the minerals out. 2 pinches of Celtic salt, lemon juice, proper lemon juice, not out the bottle, squeezed, and water. It hydrates from the cells out. So it hydrates the inner cells out. All the other hydrogen water does not do that. So you're getting a great start to the day.
And maybe like the second best thing, if I don't have Celtic salt, can I use like good quality sea salt?
No, it has to be Celtic salt, unfortunately. And you can
Okay.
get it on Amazon like $10 or something. And the other important things to do is you only, when we look at oil to cooking, let me take you back. Rockefeller used to provide all the oils for the locomotive trains and all that stuff. When cars started coming in, he was stuck with all this oil on it because cars use little oil, all this oil. So he created a kind of health medical board around him with friends and colleagues, and he convinced the world that cooking in oil, okay, rancid oils like canola oil and stuff is good for us. You only need 3 oils in your life. And if you start using these 3, your life and your health will change. Canola oil, olive oil, avocado oil, and a good grass-fed butter or something. That's the only 3 oils. So if you're getting
You started with canola oil. I think.
Yeah, canola oil, olive oil, and avocado oil, and a good grass-fed butter or a ghee will do.
So canola oil is good?
Canola oil is bad. Coconut oil.
Coconut oil, yeah. Like
Okay,
canola.
yeah.
I heard canola oil. I was like,
Me too,
Oh,
I
sorry.
didn't understand.
no, he didn't. Coconut oil.
Yeah, coconut oil, olive oil, and the rest are rancid oils that are not meant for humans.
We cook with, I cook with beef tallow.
The best thing ever. The best thing ever. That's up there, of course. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Awesome. That is really, really interesting. And I mean, I'm gonna start this routine probably first thing later today. I'm not even gonna wait for tomorrow. I'm gonna try the breaths. And yeah, really, really interesting talk. Alex, do you have any questions or anything?
I was just interested about the breath work. Do you do it with the nose or with the mouth or with both, or it doesn't matter?
Yeah. So when we take in the nose, there's a little breath going in, but it's nice and relaxing. What we need is a shock on the system. So all through the mouth. Yeah. Really, really, really aggressively do it. And you never look at yourself in the mirror doing this because you look stupid. You know, but yes, just as you can. And the conscious brain will go, boom, here we're going to have a fantastic day, and out you go through the door. It's impossible. Now, guys, the stuff I spoke about today is layman term. It's more intricate, it's more in detail. We do a lot more to reprogram the brain. So, you know, oh, well, that's just it. No, there's a lot to do it. This morning work will set you alight. End of story. So if there's a conversation that we haven't, yeah, but it does. It does. I'm not saying that, but in an hour's time, you can't fit everything in. You know, I used to say, do the breath work, mirror work, teeth work, and if it doesn't change your life, I'll send you $1,000. One person in 1,000 will call in from Afghanistan somewhere saying he's tried the breath and it doesn't work. It's like you get these con men all the time. So my wife says you can't do that anymore. You've got to just, so it works, guys. It really does.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Really so interesting. Thank you so much. If somebody wants to work with you or get more information about what you do, how can they reach out to you? How can they find more?
So Dr. Robb Kelly in any search engine. But if you're listening, guys, and not watching, I spell my name with 2 B's. So it's ROBBKELLY.com. There's lots of beautiful stuff on there. With the breath work, it can be done with the 9-dimensional breath work that we do. It can be done online, so you can be anywhere in the world. Our parent company, which I own, is called the Breathbox. So breathbox.studio is the website. Will change your life, guys. And this is what we say to people. We have a 98% success rate. And if we don't get you to the place that we agreed in the first, I'll refund you money. No other place does that in the world. No other place. Because we're very aggressive about this. We're very serious about this because people are dying every single day, man. They don't know why they're dying. Because not simple. It took us years and hundreds of thousands of dollars to research all this. But, you know, it's a game changer, man. And we're proud of who we are. And we're proud of what we're doing, you know, in communities around the world. So jump on the website, have a look around. All social medias, you'll find on the website. I think Instagram is addiction, blah, blah, something like that. So just look on the website, there's your information. So moms and dads, listen very carefully. I'm going to do 2 things here. Moms and dads, if you have a son or daughter that's suffering, I have a separate office where 3 women are in there. and we'll go on the website, call them up and say, you're a mom or dad of somebody who's suffering, and they will talk to you all day long, every single day. It will never cost you anything. It's just advice for you all the time. The other thing is, if you're listening to this in America, guys, I have a book out there. It's the last thing my daughter said to me, Daddy, Daddy, please stop drinking. I got 10 copies just for this show. So if you are in America, make sure you get hold of either Alex, Simon, or me and say you saw me on the show. It was amazing. I'm going to sign it, especially for you. I'm going to mail it. You can have the book free. I'm going to mail it. Don't buy it off Amazon. All free of charge, guys. So yeah, it's a great life.
Thanks. I really feel that you care very much for providing like resources for people, because this is important to you, and that's the kind of people that I like and want to be more around with and want to learn from. So thank you so much. It was really, really fascinating, and yeah, thanks.
Thank
Thanks,
you, Rob.
guys. Thank you so much.